The bullet didn't kill me right away. It tore through my chest like a freight train derailing in slow motion. Hot metal shredding everything I thought was solid, my marriage, my trust, my goddamn life. I remember the metallic tang of blood flooding my mouth. The way my husband's face twisted from that fake-ass smile into something feral as he leaned over the open trunk of our family SUV, whispering, "You weren't supposed to find out, Mags." And then the world tilted. The pavement rushing up to kiss me goodbye. Sirens wailing like they were late to the party. But death. It wasn't the end. It was a fucking reset button jammed in the off position. 1 second. I'm choking on my last breath in that rain-soaked parking lot outside the motel. The next. I'm gasping awake in my old bed. Sheets tangled around me like a noose I somehow slipped. The clock on the nightstand blinks 3:47 a.m. Same as it did that morning 6 months before the shot, before Tom put a .38 in my ribs and staged it like a suicide. My heart hammers against my ribs, but there's no hole. No blood. Just the faint ache of a body that's mine again. 29 years old. Not the bloated corpse they ID'd from dental records. I bolt upright, hand flying to my chest, expecting the sticky warmth of exit wounds. Nothing. The room spins, posters of indie bands peeling at the edges. The faint scent of Tom's aftershave lingering on the pillow like a ghost. Holy shit. I'm back.
重生.
They call it in those Vietnamese ghost stories my grandma used to scare me with, reborn to fix the unfixable. But this ain't folklore. This is me, Margaret Hayes, getting a do-over in the land of the free and the home of the brave, where justice is just another word for who pays the lawyers. I stumble to the bathroom mirror, flipping on the harsh fluorescent that makes everything look like a crime scene. My reflection stares back, freckles across a nose that's still broken from that accidental fall down the stairs last timeline, green eyes wide with the kind of terror that doesn't fade. I touch my face, pinch my arm, pain blooms sharp and real. Not a dream. Not some coma hallucination. I'm here, in our cramped 2-bedroom in suburban Philly, the one we bought with dreams of kids and picket fences. Dreams Tom pissed away for a blonde paralegal named Lisa and a pile of embezzled cash from his firm. The memory hits like aftershock. That night, I'd followed the GPS ping on his phone, some glitchy app he swore was for work routes. It led me to the Pineview Motel, a roach trap off I-95 where truckers and cheaters go to forget their zip codes. I'd parked across the lot, engine off, watching their silhouettes through the curtains. Him, laughing. Her, tangled in sheets that should have been mine. And when he caught me pounding on the door, screaming like a banshee, he didn't deny it. He ended it. One shot.
Point blank.
Then he dragged me to the car, planted the gun in my hand, and called it a lover's quarrel gone wrong. The cops bought it, small-town PD with a backlog longer than an Eagles losing streak. Case closed in 48 hours. Now I know every lie he ever told. Every late meeting that smelled like Chanel No.
5.
Every deposit into that offshore account he thought I wouldn't notice. And the kicker? That used sedan we bought last spring, the one with the glitchy GPS that started it all. It's sitting in the garage right now. A 2015 Honda Accord with 80,000 miles and a secret history. In my first life, I ignored the weird pings, the phantom alerts popping up on the dash. Thought it was a lemon. But after he killed me, while I was rotting in the morgue, the feds cracked it open during a routine audit. Turns out, the previous owner was a low-level mob runner for the Philly docks. And that GPS? It wasn't just navigation. It was a black box tracker, logging every stop, every shady handoff. Tom found it when he junked the car for parts after my suicide, used it to fence stolen bonds, launder kickbacks from the firm. That's how he afforded the affair, the weekend getaways, the life he built on my corpse. I sink to the cold tile floor, knees to chest, breath coming in ragged bursts. This isn't a gift, it's a curse with teeth. Do I run? Call the cops? Spill it all? Watch them laugh me out as a hysterical wife? Or do I play it smart, burn him slow, make him feel every ounce of the betrayal he shoveled on me? The clock ticks over to 3:50. Tom's still snoring in the next room, oblivious. I could slip out now, vanish into the night like a bad debt. But no, not this time. This time, I'm the collector. By dawn, I've got a plan sketched on the back of an old grocery receipt. Step 1. Secure the evidence. That GPS unit's embedded in the dash, wired like a bomb. I need to pull it without tipping him off. Step 2. Bait the hook. Let him think I'm the same clueless Mags, baking casseroles and ignoring the lipstick on his collar. Step 3. Twist the knife. Expose Lisa first. Make her the villain in his perfect little narrative. Watch him squirm as his world unravels thread by thread. I dress quiet as a shadow, jeans that hug too tight since the weight gain from stress eating in Timeline 1, a hoodie to hide the tremor in my hands. Coffee brews strong and black, no cream, like the bitterness churning in my gut.
Tom Styrai pour.
Rolling over with that boyish grin that used to melt me. Morning.
Babe.
You okay? Look like you've seen a ghost. I force a laugh. Light and airy. The kind that says everything's peachy in the land of apple pie and false idols. Just a nightmare.
Hun.
The usual deadlines at the agency chasing me down. Lie rolls off easy, practice makes perfect, and I've had a lifetime's worth. He buys it, pecks my cheek, grabs his briefcase. The firm's his kingdom, senior associate at Kensington and Hale, rubbing elbows with blue bloods who summer in the Hamptons. Me? I'm a mid-level copywriter at a boutique ad shop in Center City, peddling dreams for toothpaste and truck loans. World apart. But I bridged them once. Thought love was the mortar. Turns out it was quicksand. He's out the door by 7:15. Ford F-150 rumbling down the cul-de-sac. I wait 10 minutes, then hit the garage. The Accord squats under a tarp, innocent as a sleeping dog. I peel it back, heart thudding like bass at a Springsteen show. Keys jingle in my pocket, spares he never knew I kept. Engine turns over smooth, no cough, no hesitation. The dash lights flicker, and there it is, the GPS screen, blank for now, but I know its secrets. I pop the fuse box under the wheel. Fingers steady from YouTube tutorials I watched in purgatory. A snip here, a splice there, can't risk him sinking it remotely. The unit beeps once. Alive in my hands, a cold brick of plastic and lies. Back inside. I boot up my laptop, ancient Dell that's one crash from the grave. Plug in via USB, and the data dumps like a confessional. Routes from 3 years back. Docks at midnight. Motels in Jersey. A storage unit in Bensalem that screams, chop shop. Coordinates time-stamped, precise as a sniper scope. And buried in the metadata, Tom's burner phone pings, linking him to Lisa's alias account. Texts, babe. The wife's clueless. Meet at the usual? Her reply, can't wait to make her disappear for good. Rage boils up, hot and righteous, but I shove it down. This is ammo, not a Molotov. I encrypt the files, stash them on a thumb drive taped under the sink. Next, reconnaissance. I drive the Accord to the agency,
Windows down.
wind whipping my doubts away. Philly's alive with the grind, horns blaring on Broad Street, cheesesteaks sizzling from carts, the Schuylkill River glinting like fool's gold. My desk waits, piled with briefs for a new campaign. Empower your drive. Honda's got your back. Irony tastes like battery acid. Lunch hour. I tail Tom's F-150 from a distance, using the GPS's old logs to predict his route. He veers off toward Rittenhouse Square, that upscale lunch spot where power deals go down over Cobb salads. Lisa's there, waiting at a corner table, legs crossed like she's posing for a deposition. Blonde, sharp-featured, the kind of pretty that cuts. She's laughing at something he says, hand on his knee under the white linen. I park across the street, camera phone zoomed in.
Click. Click.
Evidence for the inevitable divorce lawyer. Or maybe just for my scrapbook of spite. Afternoon drags. But my mind races laps. By quitting time, I've drafted an anonymous email to the firm's ethics board, vague enough to hook, specific enough to sting. Check the Accord's black box. Your golden boy's got skeletons.
Send.
Not yet. Let it simmer. Home by 6. I play the part. Pot roast in the crock pot. A bottle of Pinot chilling. Tom breezes in, tie loose, smelling of scotch and secrets. Dinner's domestic bliss, talk of weekend hikes in the Poconos. His hand on mine across the oak table we refinished together. I smile.
Nod.
Let the warmth seep in like Novocaine. But inside, I'm a storm front building, thunder rumbling low. That night, as he snores, I slip downstairs to the garage. The GPS hums on the workbench, downloading more ghosts. One file catches, a route to an abandoned warehouse on the Delaware, timestamped 2 weeks before my death. Audio snippet, grainy, but clear, Tom's voice.
Tense.
The bonds are clean. 50 mil easy. Lisa handles the wash, you take the heat if it goes south. A third voice. Gravelly. And the wife. Loose end. Tom. Handled. My blood runs Arctic. It wasn't just an affair. It was a heist, insider trading on a scale that'd make Wolf of Wall Street blush. The firm cooked the books. Tom was the chef. And me, collateral. The suicide was cover for the bigger play, pinning it on a dead woman's desperation. I clutched the drive. Knuckles white. No more waiting. Tomorrow, I start the unraveling. But as I stare at the sedan's dark windows, reflection warped like my fate, doubt creeps in. What if revenge turns me into him? What if this second chance is just a prettier cage? Screw it. In America, you don't get do-overs without paying toll. And Tom's about to foot the bill. 2 weeks into this twisted redux, and I'm living a double life sharper than a switchblade.
By day.
I'm Margaret Hayes, the dutiful wife with a smile like Wonder Bread soft. Predictable. Essential for the American dream sandwich. By night, I'm Mags the ghost, haunting Tom's digital shadows, piecing together the puzzle that got me killed. The GPS? It's my Excalibur, pulled from the stone of that junker Accord. Every night, I sync it to my burner laptop, sifting logs like a miner panning for fool's gold. And the veins run deep, routes to shell companies in Wilmington, Drop-offs at private airstrips near Allentown. Even a ping to a Cayman Islands IP that screams tax haven. Tom hasn't noticed the chill in my veins yet. He's too busy juggling balls, his caseload, Lisa's demands, the Fed circling closer than he knows. In my first go-round, the Bureau raided the firm 6 months after my suicide, but by then, the money trail was ash. This time, I'm the accelerant. It starts small, the sabotage. Monday morning, I accidentally spill coffee on his briefcase, ruins the flash drive with client files. He curses, blue eyes flashing that temper he saves for closing arguments. Jesus. Mags. Watch it. I apologize with wide eyes. Fetch a towel. Plant a kiss on his stubbled cheek.
Sadi. Babe.
Long night brainstorming taglines. He softens. Like always, guilt's a hell of a softener when you're already rotten inside. By Wednesday, I've escalated. Anonymous tip to the IRS. Kensington and Hale. Follow the Accord's breadcrumbs. No names. Just coordinates from the GPS that match offshore wires. I send it from a VPN in a coffee shop on South Street, surrounded by tourists snapping pics of the Liberty Bell replica. Heart races like I'm base jumping off the Ben Franklin Bridge.
But the thrill?
It's better than any high from the pills I popped to numb the grief in Timeline 1. Tom comes home early that night, face ashen as printer paper. Rough day at the office. Some auditor sniffing around. He pours a tumbler of Glenlivet, neat, and paces the living room like a caged panther. I play concerned, rub his shoulders, murmur sympathies, all while my mind catalogs the tells, lip twitch, averted gaze, the way his fingers drum like Morse code for fuck. You're stressed, I say. Voice honey over gravel. Let me run you a bath. Remember that time in the Poconos? The hot tub under the stars. He nods.
Distracted.
But follows me upstairs. As the water runs, I slip his phone from his jacket unlocked. The fool. Lisa's texts glow like neon sin. Miss you. When do we ditch the ball and chain? His reply. Time-stamped an hour ago, soon. After the payout. I snap pics. Replace the phone. Join him in the steam. He pulls me close, hands wandering with that familiar hunger. Part of me recoils, memories of the motel door splintering under my fists, but I lean in, play the part. Let him think he's got me wrapped. It's power. This intimacy turned weapon. As he drifts off post-bliss, I stare at the ceiling fan whirring lazy circles, plotting the next cut. Friday brings the first blood. The firm's ethics board calls Tom in. My email bore fruit. He tells me over takeout Thai. Voice clipped. Some bullshit complaint. Anonymous crank. Probably a disgruntled junior. I nod. Fork pad Thai like it's therapy. Inside, jubilation. Sarpasaka. That night, I dig deeper into the GPS data. One route loops back to the Pineview Motel, not just Tom's trysts, but earlier hits. The previous owner, that mob runner, he used it for hits too, bodies dumped in the Schuylkill, weighted with cinder blocks. And Tom? He knew and leveraged it, trading silence for a cut of the action. Rage morphs to something colder, resolve. I need allies. Can't do this solo, even in America. Lone wolves get picked off. First call, my old college roommate, Jenna, now a PI in Baltimore with a nose for dirt sharper than a box cutter. We meet at a dive bar off the turnpike. Her with a mullet that screams 80s cop show. Me nursing a yingling. Mags? You look like hell warmed over. What's the play?
I slide her the thumb drive.
Husband's dirty. Embezzlement. Affair. And worse, tied to organized. Her eyebrows climb like ivy on a brownstone.
Whoa. Girl.
You sure? Tom's the poster boy for khakis and casseroles. I laugh. Bitter as black coffee. Posters lie. Help me nail him. Discreet. She takes the gig for a steal, friends discount, and by week's end, she's got prelims. Lisa's not just arm candy. She's the firm's mole, feeding insider tips to a syndicate out of Atlantic City. Tom's their patsy, the clean face for the feds. And me, in the original script, I was the patsy's patsy, dead wife.
Perfect alibi.
The weekend's a minefield. Tom suggests a romantic getaway to the shore, Cape May, boardwalks and salt air. Trap or genuine thaw? I agree. Pack light. Hide the drive in a tampon box. Cliché, but effective. The drive down's tense. Classic rock on the radio masking the static in my head. He holds my hand at red lights. Thumb stroking like absolution. I love you.
Mags.
You know that, right?
Lies.
But they sting less now. I've armored up. The B&B's quaint, Victorian gingerbread. Ocean views from the Widow's Walk. We walk the beach at sunset. Waves crashing like applause for our charade. He talks future, kids, a bigger house in the main line. I nod. But my mind's on the twist, the warehouse audio looping, loose end. That's me. Always was. Night falls, and in the four-poster, he makes love like it's penance. Slow, searching, as if he senses the fracture. After, tangled in sheets scented with lavender, he confesses fragments, work's killing me. Pressure from the partners. I murmur comfort, but file it away. Pressure means leverage. Monday back in Philly. Jenna texts, jackpot. Lisa's got a safety deposit box in Ventnor. Contents? Bonds worth 20 mil. Tom's name on half. I meet her at a Wawa, slurping coffee that tastes like regret. We hit it, she asks, eyes gleaming. Temptation bites, steal the bonds. Vanish to Mexico. Start over with a new name and no ghosts. But no. That's his game. Mine's exposure. We plan the heist, low-tech, high drama. I pose as Lisa Wig.
Contacts.
The works. Jenna runs distraction.
Tuesday night.
Under cover of a nor'easter. We breach the bank. Alarms silent. Teller's gone. The box yields gold, ledgers, flash drives, photos of Tom shaking hands with goons in pinstripes. And a letter, handwritten, to my darling Tom, if I go down, you swim. Burn this. Love.
Elle.
Twist 1. Lisa's playing him too. She's the architect. He's the tool. My fury shifts, not just at him,
but the web.
We copy everything. Reseal. Ghost out. Rain lashes the windshield as we hit 95 north. Jenna whooping like we robbed Fort Knox. You're a natural.
Mags.
Badass bitch mode activated. Home by dawn. Evidence stashed. Tom sleeps like the dead. I watch him. This man I vowed to honor. And wonder, was there ever good in him? Or just a mask for the monster?
Midweek.
The feds knock. Not at our door, Kensington and Hales. Raids. Headlines in the Inquirer. White-collar scandal rocks Philly elite. Tom's phone blows up, he paces. Sweats. Accuses the TV of conspiracy. It's a witch hunt.
Mags.
They'll ruin us.
Us.
As if we're in this together. I play supportive. Brew tea. Hold him as he breaks, tears hot on my shoulder. Part of me pities the wreck. The rest revels. But controversy brews. Leaks hit the blogs. Whispers of a jilted wife, tipping the scales. Tom's eyes narrow at dinner. You hear anything at the agency? Ad worlds all gossip. I blink innocent.
Nah, babe.
Just cat videos and memes. Friday. Lisa calls him from a blocked number. I accidentally hit speaker. Her voice. Silk over steel. Tom, we need to talk.
Now.
That bitch is onto us. He blanches. Stammers excuses.
Click.
He turns to me. Face erictus. Wrong number. Client panic. Lies upon lies. The tension's electric. Air thick as humidity before a squall. That night, he downs pills, Xanax chased with whiskey, and I know the endgame's near. But as I lie awake, GPS humming faint on the nightstand, doubt gnaws. Revenge is a drug. Addictive. Blinding. What if I lose myself in the high? The unraveling hits warp speed after the raid. Like a derailment you see coming but can't brake for. Tom's a ghost in his own skin, hollowed cheeks. Eyes ringed like a raccoon's from sleepless nights, lawyered up to his eyeballs. The firm's on lockdown. Partners scattering like roaches under kitchen light. And the feds? They're sharks now. Circling with warrants that smell like chum. My tips paid off. The IRS and FBI tag-teamed, subpoenaing everything from Tom's dry cleaning to the Accords bin. He doesn't know I handed them the keys, literally. A cloned fob slipped to an agent at a SEPTA stop.
Me?
I'm the eye of the storm. Calm as a Quaker at prayer meeting. Work's a grind, pitching slogans for a pharma client peddling antidepressants. Irony thick as Philly fog. Find your happy place, without the crash. If only. Jenna's my lifeline. Feeding intel over burner apps. Lisa's lawyered too. But sloppy, her Ventnor box got cracked. Bonds seized. She's pointing fingers at Tom, painting him as the mastermind. Classic misdirection. She's the queen. He's the pawn she plans to sacrifice. Saturday. He cracks the facade. We're in the kitchen. Me chopping onions for chili, tears masking my own, when he slams his mug down. Coffee sloshing like a crime scene. Mags. Level with me. You know something, don't you? His voice is raw, edged with that courtroom timbre that sways juries. I pause. Knife midair. Heart staccato. Play it wrong. And I'm the loose end again. About what? Tom? The news? It's everywhere. I wipe my hands on a dish towel. Step close. Close enough to smell the fierce sweat under his cologne. He grabs my wrists. Grip bruising. Don't bullshit me. The leak's too specific. Like someone had the GPS logs. My pulse thuds. But I meet his gaze. Green on blue. And channel the dead woman's nerve. You think I'd sabotage us? After everything? He searches my face. Doubt flickering like bad neon. Then releases. Slumps against the counter. I'm losing it.
Sorry, babe.
Apology accepted, with interest. That night, I dose his scotch with a sleep aid, over the counter. Nothing lethal. While he snores oblivion, I rifle his safe. Combos our anniversary. Sentimental fool. Inside, passports, fake ones. His and hers for the Caymans. A ledger mirroring the GPS data. Tom's scrawl tallying cuts. 2 mil to L. 500K to cleanup crew. And a photo. Me. Smiling at our wedding. Red X slashed across my face. Nausea rises. Bile sharp. This wasn't impulse. It was premeditated. A hit scripted months out. The mob ties run deeper. Cleanup crew? That's the syndicate's wet work arm. Ghosts from the docks who make problems vanish in the Delaware's muddy embrace. Lisa didn't just seduce him. She recruited him. Dangled the affair as bait. And the suicide? Insurance policy. Tying off the thread before the feds unraveled the sweater. I pocket the photo. Reseal the safe. Dawn breaks gray. Rain pattering like guilty fingers. Tom wakes groggy. Blames the bad dreams. We drive to counseling, his idea. Damage control for the stress. The therapist's a soft-spoken shrink in Chestnut Hill. Office smelling of chamomile and Freud. She probes. Communication? Margaret? Any secrets weighing on you? Tom's eyes flick to me. Expectant. I smile serene. We're good,
Doc.
just navigating the storm. Under the table, my foot nudges his reassurance. Or warning. Post-session. We hit the reading terminal market, his Hail Mary for normalcy. Crowds bustle. Vendors hawking soft pretzels and scrapple. The air thick with grease and immigrant accents. He buys me a hoagie. Extra whiz. And for a heartbeat. It's us again pre-betrayal. Pre-blood. But as we eat on a bench, watching tourists feed pigeons, his phone buzzes. Lisa.
Again, meet.
Warehouse. Midnight. End this. He pales. Deletes hasty. I pretend not to see. But the coordinates match the GPS ghost, a derelict spot on the waterfront, where crates rot and rats rule. Trap? Summit? Either way, my cue. Jenna and I prep like commandos. She's got a .22 registered, clean, and I opt for Mace. A recorder in my bra. You sure? She asks, strapping on Kevlar under her leather jacket. This ain't ads. Mags. Real stakes. I nod. Adrenaline buzzing like stadium lights. He took my life once. Won't get a sequel. Midnight finds us in the shadows of the warehouse district. Delaware lapping black and oily. Tom's F-150 idles under a sodium lamp. He steps out, coat flapping like bat wings. Lisa emerges from the gloom, high heels clicking on cracked concrete. Fur stole over a sheath dress that screams funeral chic. They argue low, her hissing accusations. Him pleading innocence. You set me up.
You bitch.
The feds have the bonds. She laughs. Cold as winter wind. Patsy. Darling. You were always expendable. Then the twist. Headlights slice the dark. A black Escalade. Doors disgorging 3 suits with bulges under arms. The crew. Lisa's insurance. Tom spins. Betrayal etching his face. What the fuck? Lise. She shrugs. Venomous. Loose ends.
Tom.
Like your wife. Gun appears in her manicured hand, pearl-handled. Dainty death. That's my entrance. I step from the Accord, parked silent. Lights off, voice amplified by the recorder. Actually, that's my line. They whirl. Tom's jaw drops. Mags? What the? Lisa sneers. The ghost. How quaint. Chaos erupts. Suits advance. But Jenna's shot cracks air. Warning. Into the dirt. Feds en route. Drop and bluff. But it lands, they hesitate. Tom lunges for Lisa's gun. She fires wild. Bullet pinging off a crate. I spray mace. Clouding the fray, eyes burning. Screams mingling with the river's churn. In the melee, Tom's on his knees. Coughing, clutching a graze on his arm. Lisa bolts for the escalade. But Jenna tackles her girl fight. Nails and curses. I grab Tom. Haul him up. Run. You idiot. He stumbles after me. Confusion raw.
How?
You're dead. I killed you. Not anymore. We pile into the F-150. Peel out as sirens wail distant, real ones. My anonymous 911 with GPS pins. The crew scatters. Lisa's zip-tied in Jenna's trunk, headed for the cops. Back home.
Pre-dawn.
Tom's a wreck, pacing, babbling. I did it for us. Mags. The money, kids. Security. She promised. Excuses tumble. But I cut him cold. Us. You put a bullet in us. I toss the photo. The ledger. His face crumples, man unmasked. Boy caught with his hand in the jar. Why didn't you run, he whispers, sinking to the rug. I loom. Voice steel. Because second chances aren't free. Yours ends here. Cops arrive at 5 a.m., my call. Evidence uploaded. He goes quiet,
Cuffs clicking like karma.
but the high crashes hard. Interrogation room footage leaks. Tom singing like Sinatra, fingering Lisa and the crew. Headlines scream. Philly power couples deadly double-cross. Controversy explodes. Blogs debate if I'm vigilante or vixen. Women's forums Leoneize me as survivor. Protests outside the precinct. Justice for Mags, trending. Mixed with Tom-innocent cries from his frat boy fans. Jenna crashes on my couch, nursing a black eye. You good?
No.
The house echoes empty. Ghosts louder now. Revenge tasted sweet. But the after?
Ash.
The fallout's a hurricane, ripping through Philly like it had a grudge. Tom's arraigned Monday, embezzlement, conspiracy, attempted murder pinned on him like a scarlet letter. Lisa flips faster than a politician at a fundraiser, trading testimony for a plea. 20 years federal.
No parole.
The crew? Roundup makes the 6 o'clock news. Suits in orange jumpsuits shuffling into vans. Their empire crumbling like a cheesesteak left in the sun.
Me?
I'm the enigma, whistleblower wife. Resurrected avenger. Reporters camp my lawn. Mics thrust like pitchforks. Margaret. Was it revenge or righteousness? I slam the door. Draw blinds. Let the world howl. Jenna moves in temporary protection detail, courtesy of her PI network. We fortify. Deadbolts. Cameras. A Glock under the pillow. I like a bad habit. Sleep's elusive. Dreams replay the warehouse in Technicolor. The crack of gunfire. Tom's bewildered eyes. Lisa's snarl twisting to defeat. Waking sweats leave me gasping. The bed vast without his weight. Hate him?
Still.
Miss the lie? Pathetically.
Yes.
Work suspends me. Paid leave. They call it. But it's exile. The agency's abuzz. Mags the murder widow? Wild. Colleagues text platitudes. I ghost them. Instead, I testify, closed session. Feds in a fluorescent box downtown. Suit with a crew cut grills. How do you know the routes? The safe. I spin half-truths. Hunch. Women's intuition. They buy it, the GPS data seals the deal. Black box testimony that buries Tom deeper than Potter's Field. Public split. Tabloids dub me Philly's femme fatale. Op-eds debate vigilante justice in the Me Too era. Protests swell. Women's marches chanting my name. Men's rights goons picketing with signs innocent until proven. Controversies my crown. Thorns digging deep. Late-night calls, threats from Tom's supporters, hang-ups that breathe heavy. Jenna fields them. Touch her. You touch Philly PD. Twist hits mid-month, buried in Discovery docs. A bombshell. Tom's not the architect Lisa was, but the puppet master? His partner. Harlan Hale. The firm's silver fox with a Hamptons tan. Harlan recruited Tom 5 years back. Affair with Lisa, the honey trap. The suicide plan? Harlan's brainchild. Outsourcing to the crew for deniability. Tom was complicit, but pressured, debts from a gambling habit, threats to his family, me included. Rage reignites, but tempered. I confront Harlan unwise, but cathartic. Show up at his mainline estate. Gates ajar from the scandal's siege. He's packing, suits in bins. Wife fled to Europe. Margaret, he drawls. Scotch in hand. The prodigal wife. I brandish the ledger photo, his signature. Faint but fatal. You killed me. Orchestrated it. He laughs.
Hollow.
Business. Darling. Tom was weak, you were. Inconvenient. No gun. No mace, just words. Honed sharp. Feds have your emails. The Cayman's wire. Enjoy Leavenworth. His face drains. Empire's emperor dethroned. As I leave, he calls after. He loved you. In his way. Bullshit. But it lingers. A splinter in the wound. Trial's a circus, Philly courthouse. Summer swelter turning the gallery to a sweatbox. I sit front row. Anonymous in shades and ponytail. Tom takes the stand, gaunt in his ill-fit suit. Voice cracking on my name. I panicked. She found out about Lisa. The money. I couldn't lose her. Jury shifts. Women glare. Men nod sympathy. Lisa testifies. Next. Ice Queen thawed to tears. He pulled the trigger. I just loved him. Lies. But theatrical gold. My turn. Cross-exam. Defense attorney slimy as sump oil. Mrs. Hayes. You manipulated evidence. Vigilante justice. I lean in. My cot. Justice? I died for his secrets. This is survival. Gasps ripple. Judge gavels order. Verdict drops like a guillotine. Tom. Life without conspiracy to murder sealed it. Harlan.
Same.
Lisa.
25.
Cheers erupt. I slip out. Nausea churning. Aftermath's quiet cancer. House sells quick, blood money. But tuition for the life I reclaim. Jenna and I road trip west. Accord traded for a Subaru. GPS ripped clean. Stops at diners in Ohio. Motels in Kansas. Freedom tastes like hash browns and horizon. What's next? Mags, she asks over pie in Nebraska. Therapy? Book deal? Living, I say. Without the script. Twist's final gut punch. 6 months post-verdict. A letter. Prison postmark. Tom scrawl. I was wrong. Every day here's hell.
But you?
You're free. Forgive?
No.
Understand? Maybe. Love. Always. I burn it in a motel sink. Flames dancing like doubts. Forgiveness? American as pie. But mine's a la mode, cold. Served solo.
Now?
Denver's home. Mountain views. Freelance gigs writing true crime podcasts that pay better than ads. Jenna visits. We hike trails where eagles scream freedom. Scars fade. The phantom ache in my chest. The flinch at gunshots in movies. But the lesson sticks. Betrayal's a thief. But rebirth? It's the heist of your soul. In the end, it's not happily ever after. It's hard won ever. I drive those Rockies roads. Windows down. Wind whispering secrets. No GPS needed. I know the way.